YouTube, welcome back. It's some more Pokemon Unbound. We're still on the Elite Four. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect to have ended the previous episode where we did last time. I thought we were gonna get through all the Elite Four. Maybe we get stuck on the Champion a little bit, and like I could come back and do the Champion in its own episode, and you know everything would be good. And maybe even we did the Champion on the previous episode. That's what I wanted, and maybe we could have finished on. I think it was episode 20 I recorded. We could have finished on nice round 20. But the Moleman had other ideas. It was a really tricky battle. I was just mentioning to Twitch as well, I did some testing of these battles, just to make sure like nothing like that I predicted is completely wrong. And actually, I did beat the mole guy in like the 8th attempt, but it was actually the 2nd attempt after I started going with the Trick Room mode. So I just must have rolled a really good seed when I did that. So, like, the AI was nice to me. Maybe I got some good fortune, I didn't really pay attention to it. But no, it was such a pain in the ass when we did it last time, so apologies for the 2-hour mole battle. I'm hoping the next battle will be kinder. The battle after that I'm also hoping will be very kind, but it could be tricky as well. Anyway, let me talk about the next person. So the next on the agenda is the it's the Ghostman Elias. And also, just as a forewarning, the next 2 battles are singles, they're not double battles, which is one of the reasons why I had my ordering the way I did. I wanted to get the double battles out of the way first. Also, there was like certain moves that I needed to use in those 2 double battles, so it was somewhat coincidence that I did the 2 double battles first, but at the same time, it sort of makes sense because there's some moves you use in doubles that you probably wouldn't ever use in singles, or you'd rarely use in singles. A bit like Protect, for example, which doesn't see as much play in singles, but in doubles, sees a lot of play. Anyway, so we're fighting the Ghost guy, Elias. Theoretically, just on paper, Ghost into Dark type should be a huge favourable matchup for me. And indeed, I think this will be a huge favourable matchup for me. So I don't actually have a lot to say about this battle. I think we can kind of just brute force it. The gimmick of this battle is basically Ghost multiscale. If a Ghost is at full health, it will take half damage from a move that goes into it. The only thing that like differentiates from multiscale actually is that it also means that Ghosts at full health don't take damage from entry hazards either. And actually, they're just immune to entry hazards altogether at full health. So you can't set up like Stealth Rock at turn 1 and then just break the multiscale and swoop through the team that way. They thought that through. But when you really think about it, the real answer to this is just do 200% damage and you'll just one-shot all the Ghosts. And that's kind of like, that's how I originally started my planning, was just to get a 200% damage move that would just swoop through the entire squad. It's actually pretty hard because there's actually quite a lot of stally, bulky mons here, but just honestly launching fairly strong dark moves into these guys are going to win me the game. Anyway, the first Pokemon that actually is the hardest one to deal with right now. It's the only one that makes me a bit concerned. Marshadow is I believe it's an Ultra Beast, right? No, you're not an Ultra Beast. You don't have Beast Boost. Were you a mystical Pokemon? I actually have no memory of Marshadow. It was one of those Pokemon that was released as like, you can get it if you go in store and you have this code here, you get a Marshadow with it. So I never did it because it would require me to exit the house, and I was too scared to do that. So yeah, I didn't ever get Marshadow, but I believe it's a Ghost fighting type Pokemon. This is like the one thing that offsets my team of Dark types. They don't really like getting punched in the face. A lot of people don't like getting punched in the face, but especially Dark type Pokemon, not good for them. And Marshadow is a particularly high attack Pokemon, and it comes with close combat, which is like one of the strongest fighting moves in the game. And it actually one-shots a lot of my cast of Pokemon, so I've had to come up with like a strategy to like circumvent this close combat Marshadow opening. And in case you're wondering, its ability, by the way, Long Reach, any contact move doesn't make contact. So anything I try to do based on like maybe like a contact paralysis or contact poison would not work into Marshadow. The other thing about this Marshadow is it's got Marshadium Z, which unlocks its special Z move called like 7-Star Strike Force or something. I can't remember what it's called now. It's got like a ridiculously long name. We shouldn't ever see it, to be honest with you, because it's not super effective. In fact, it's not effective in any of my Pokemon. But yeah, it has got this Z move which does massive damage, but I don't think it's ever going to use it. Shadow Sneak for priority and Rock Slide if it tries to do some flinching. And this thing is like not super quick, but like compared to actually some of the Pokemon I brought, it's like relatively quick. And basically, I think my loss condition in this battle is I don't deal with Marshadow with the Pokemon I'm planning to deal with Marshadow with, because otherwise this Pokemon can actually sweep through my team, especially if I don't break its multiscale. It can actually get really, really scary. Then we have Jellicent, it has Water Absorb. I think the reason it has Water Absorb is if you try and use a Water move into Blacephalon, which is one of the Ultra Beasts in this team, they'll swap to Jellicent to eat up the Water move and protect Blacephalon. Jellicent, we've seen on a Ghost playthrough of this game. It's a really bulky Pokemon. It's pretty good at stalling out, and actually the theme of this battle is somewhat stall-related. This thing has got things like Scald to try and get burns on you. Between Leftovers and Recovery, which is one of its moves, it's really hard to knock this thing out. And if you try and set up on it, it will taunt you, so you can't use setup moves. And then if you get really, really bulky, it has Nightshade, which just does fixed damage, and you don't have to worry about any defensive boost. Giratina is somewhat similar to Jellicent. I know they look the same, right? It's a really big, bulky Pokemon. I think from what I remember, it's really bulky on the physical side. It's still pretty bulky on the special, like, especially physically bulky. This thing is here to Will-O-Wisp you down and just stall the game out, and then it'll spam Hex into you, which does double damage if you have a status condition on you. If you also try and set up into Giratina and you don't one-shot it, it will roll you out, so you'll lose your stat boost. And it's pretty hard to do 10% damage to Giratina, which is why I actually stopped trying to do this, like, setup strategy. It is really annoying to, like, one-shot Giratina. It's just far too bulky. Also, if you don't kill it quick enough, it will just rest. And also, if you try and put status on it and, like, stall it out, the rest is going to remove your status effect and just make it all around, like, really annoying to deal with. And also, when it rests, it goes back to full health. At full health, multi-scale reapplies. Same with the Jellicent as well with leftovers. If it gets back to full health, the ghost multi-scale reapplies. So, pretty spooky. Then we have Cofagrigus, which has got a Cold Berry, by the way, so it reduces super effective dark damage, so it's pretty hard to one-shot as well, this Pokemon. Has Mummy, which I think is like, if you hit it with... I can't remember if you have to hit it with a contact move. I think it's a contact move. It will take your ability and replace it with Mummy, which, again, is just an ability that... If you make contact with this Pokemon, they gain their ability as Mummy. Basically just overwrites your ability, which is not too bad in this battle, but things like Portal Power and Hoop would be, like, really, really bad to lose. To be fair, things like Intimidate and Incineroar is not too bad because you get the benefit when you swap in, so you don't really care about the Mummy effect after that. And I don't think there's any reason like for Levitate, particularly in this battle. I guess Murkrow losing Prankster as well could be pretty annoying, but I don't think that is going to happen. And actually, probably the other big one is Drapion, which has got Super Luck. If you lose Super Luck, it means like some of my strategies don't work quite as well. This thing also comes with the other fighting move in this like... there are some other fighting moves, but like it's the other scary fighting move in my opinion. It's got Body Press, which is a fighting type move that does damage based on your defense stat. And this thing is going to just try and stack defense boost with Iron Defense. This Pokemon is physically very, very, very bulky. And yeah, it's trying to sweep through the team with Body Press. So we need to like ideally not give it the time to do this. So I'll hit it with some special moves, and the Cofagrigus will hopefully go down. Mega Gengar is the other ghosty here. It's really, really quick Mega Gengar. It has Shadow Tag, so you can't swap out and reposition in front of it. Giga Drain to restore its health back to full, so it can re-trigger the Ghost Shadow Scale. Other than that, it's like some like classic moves, you know, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, both stab, both can do a lot of damage on Gengar, and also it's Dazzling Gleam for a bit of spread move. Not necessarily in the good in the single battle. However, again, I'm dark typing, remember, so actually a fairy type move, also pretty spooky in this battle. So yeah, the Mega Gengar could be frightening. Big issue with Mega Gengar is, like some of the other Pokemon where I said, like, setting up 2% damage in one turn, it's actually really hard. Mega Gengar physically is extremely frail, and it's quite easy for my party just to one-shot it through multi-scale. So as long as we can get, like, the right Pokemon in front of Gengar, it's gonna have a bad time. Similarly, Blacephalon is an Ultra Beast. It's classically quite quick and got a very high special attack. I believe this Pokemon as well, if it picks up a kill, Beast Boost will trigger, which raises your highest stat. I think this Blacephalon will gain a special attack boost. And this Pokemon is just going to try and like sweep through my team with mega damage. It's also got weakness policy, so if I hit it with a move that doesn't just like kill it, it will get a special attack and an attack boost. And yeah, between that and the Beast Boosts and the just innate high speed on this Pokemon, it could cause some like real big headaches. But unfortunately, a bit like Mega Gengar, it's pretty frail. So as long as I hit it with like a reasonably strong physical dark move, it should just get one shot. That's the dream anyway. Alright, so the Pokemon that we are going to use to defeat it. Also, I'll just let you know, I changed the TMs and stuff off camera so you don't have to watch me do it again, so we'll go through the squad. Anyway, we're going to lead with Incineroar. Incineroar is holding a fairly unusual berry. It's the Custap Berry. Custap Berry means that if you get to below 25% health, it is, I think it is, like, in the pinch health total, your next attack will be a priority move, even if it wasn't meant to be priority. And this is important because the way this Incineroar is designed to work, and this is kind of why I've had Will-O-Wisp on this thing the entire time, is my plan is to Will-O-Wisp the Marshadow. That will give it an attack reduction going forward. So if worse comes to worse and I don't like kill this thing, the Will-O-Wisp at least like softens it up so something else could deal with the Pokemon. It will also then break the multi-scale for the next turn, the Custap Berry will trigger because it's going to CC my Incineroar. Between the Intimidate and, well, actually the Will-O-Wisp will go after the close combat, but between the Intimidate and just the raw stats from Incineroar, it will just live a close combat. It's designed to do this. And then after that, the Custap Berry will trigger, and I will Flare Blitz the Marshadow, and the Marshadow will die. And so will the Incineroar, and basically just trade 1 for 1 in the lead, and then go from there. Because the only Pokemon I'm really scared about is Marshadow. And to some degree, Cofagrigus scares me, but I'm hoping, like, we have other answers for the Cofagrigus. Things can go wrong. If we miss Will-O-Wisp, it's pretty bad. It's not actually game-losing to miss the Will-O-Wisp, but it's pretty close to game-losing. Because I still will be able to Flare Blitz it, but I won't one-shot it anymore. And I won't do a lot of damage to it, actually. And also, Marshadow resists... Sorry. It's got a neutral relationship with Dark-type moves, so it's actually pretty hard for my Pokemon to hit it that hard, actually. But maybe we could make something happen from there. If it crits me, I just lose on the spot. So they are like 2 of my big loss conditions from the get-go. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Then Cool is here again. Cool is also in the chat. Hello, Cool. You're basically the same as you have been for like previous battles. You're just a prankster bird. You set up Tailwind if I need it. Then you die an honorable death. In terms of other moves on this thing, again, just to deal with the body press and the iron defense shenanigans, I've got Haze on this thing. It might come up, you never know. And also I've got T-Wave on it just in case I want to potentially cause something to Power Flinch. Maybe we'll get into a situation where it's a 2v1 and my 2 aren't very favourable into their 1 and maybe we have to like go for some Power Flinches. T-Wave will help me do that. I did consider leaving Taunt on this thing because like taunting the settle moves as well would be quite useful. It might honestly have been a better play, but I think in my testing I did T-Wave, so I thought we'll try T-Wave and hopefully it'll work. Then we have Hooper Unbound. Hooper Unbound's had a few move changes. We've now got Dark Pulse and Psychic on this thing. Dark Pulse is one of its strongest special attacking dark moves it has access to. And anything that is weak on the special side, we will Dark Pulse. And anything that's weak on the physical side, aka Gengar and Blacephalon, we will Space Fury or Hyperspace Fury. And hopefully we'll get some big Damaggio from that. This thing is also holding black glasses. I did mention this, I think, in the previous part. Strictly speaking, there's no rule to stop me like reusing the same item multiple times, but I've tried to like be honorable to like VGC, and everything's got like unique items on it. And in the end, I didn't want to lock myself into a certain move. I didn't really want to use the Life Orb and take chip damage because, again, it's a bit of a stalling battle, so it's a bit awkward. And I kind of figured I'm probably pushing the dark type moves almost in every situation, so black glasses will probably do the job. Actually, the only reason I've got Psychic on this thing is if I don't kill Marshadow. Theoretically, Hooper Unbound can kill it with a Psychic, but it does require me to get hit by Marshadow, which probably means I won't live through the attack because this thing is physically quite frail. But maybe if like we T-Wave it and, you know, we get lucky, they could pick up a kill. Then we have Pennywise. Pennywise's move pool has also changed. Dark Pulse has come onto this thing, which again is its best dark type damage move. Skull to try and fish for some burns, because again, if you put states on these things, it's pretty obnoxious. It'll just break the multi-scale. Any of the physical attackers just don't like having a burn on them. It's just good stuff. Toxic, I'm probably never pushing the button, but in case like I get in front of Giratina, it actually can be quite useful, even though it can rest the Toxic off, just putting the Toxic on it and then spamming Dark Pulse, because between the Dark Pulse flinches and the Toxic like triggering over and over again, it's kind of awkward for the Pokemon to rest, and if it does go to sleep, the Dark Pulse will eventually chip it down, hopefully before it wakes up. I've also, as interested as an item, I put King's Rock on this thing just to like really lean into the flinch chance. I figured if I put like damage boosting items on it, actually wasn't making a difference between killing and not killing. Virtually everything needs 2 shots from this thing at the very least. So I thought, you know what, let's fish for the flinch chance. Maybe that will pay off. General Mandible is here. General Mandible is actually the reason why I had to do the other 2 battles first. I've dropped Ice Fang off, and Ice Fang is not a TM, so I will never get access to Ice Fang again for the rest of the Elite Four battle, which is actually kind of annoying because there are some dragons coming forwards, and in fact there's some dragons coming forwards now, but I kind of figured I needed to get a bit more damage on this thing. My theory on this Pokemon is, again, I talked about if I do 200% damage, I just one-shot everything. If I can get a Sword Stance off, this thing can, like, very close, and in fact, in some cases it will just definitely do it, but it can pretty close to just one-shot everything. I think some things are, like, not quite on the 200%, they're pretty close to it with the multi-scale. But either way, it'll just do Omega damage. Worth noting as well, this Pokemon, it's holding a Scope Lens. It has got the ability Super Look. Both these things boost the chance a crit will happen. Crits are normally 1 in 16, with Super Look they become 1 in 8. It stacks with Scope Lens, which becomes a 1 in 4, and if you then Was that right? 1 in 16, 1 in 8, 1 in 4. No, it wasn't right. It's 1 in 16, 1 in 4, 1 in 2, I think. Anyway, if you stack a third critical hit boost on this Pokemon, which happens with the moves like Night Slash and Cross Poison, which have elevated crit chance, you get 100% crit chance. And that's upon a Drapen. I will Sword Stance, and I will guarantee crit Night Slash these Pokemon, and that's going to do Omega damage to the Ghost-type Pokemon. So that's why General Mandible is here. One of the reasons why he is here, actually, but we'll talk about the other reasons why he's here when we get to the next battle. Smough is honestly just the same as he was before. It's choice specs, get the max amount of damage on the special side of this Pokemon, and just spam Dark Pulse, and hopefully they will go away. I've put U-Turn on this Pokemon just purely in case I get like a really unfavorable matchup. I don't even know what the really unfavorable matchup would be for this Pokemon. I guess strictly speaking in front of Gengar it'd be a bit awkward because Gengar has a Fairy type move, and this Pokemon's 4 times weak to Fairy, so I think that's the one matchup where I need to be a little bit careful. And theoretically, I could U-turn out and, you know, don't worry about the choice lock. To be fair, if Gengar's in front of me, I actually can't do that because I'm slower than Gengar. But, you know, let's be real here. I'm pushing the Dark move on all these Pokemon. The other moves are somewhat irrelevant. The only reason I put Dragon Pulse on as well is it does slightly more damage than Dark Pulse, I think, to Giratina. So, just in case that matters, I figure I'd go for the Dragon Pulse coverage as well. And Earth Power's here for the future. And then that is that. Just quickly before I get onto the next battle, is there anything I need to ether up? I think just to be safe, let's take Dark Pulse up on you. Okay, let's grab some ethers. So I'll get Dark Pulse on you. I'll get Dragon Pulse on you, and I'll have Dark Pulse on you as well. Because I think they're like the only the only moves I'm likely to overuse from the PP we had. I'll create a quick save, and hopefully we'll just first time this, okay? That's right. And also, let me pull up my little cheat sheet next to me so I can see the speed stats. Also, funny thing, the last episode I had my Incineroar speed stat by cheat sheet wrong. It's actually slightly quicker than I thought it was. It wouldn't really have mattered, actually. I think every time when I said the Incineroar and Tailwind is not faster than this was generally true. I feel there's like one exception. But it didn't really matter. Alright, we get the Intimidate off of my Shadow. We Will-O-Wisp you. So I should live this, barring a crit. And now I'm at very, very low health. We hit the Will-O-Wisp. Perfect. The Custap Berry will proc. And I will get a speed priority Flare Blitz into this guy. And that is Mars Shadow gone. And this is probably the biggest threat. The other scary one, as I said, is Cofagrigus. This is the other scary part of this, by the way, because I have to, like, kind of, like, cold swap in. I don't know what they're going to go into. I'm just going to go to Cool, because, no offense, Cool, but you're probably the least impactful Pokemon here. The Tailwind situation could be quite useful, but it's not absolutely crucial. Hey, this is where Taunt would go crazy, actually. Right. So I could... I could T-Wave this thing just... Sorry, Cool. I could T-Wave this thing just to put a paralysis on it, which could be good in the future. It can rest it off at some point, but it's probably not going to do it immediately. The alternative is that I just swap, but it's going to use a Will-O-Wisp, and I can't really deal with that. I did also consider putting Lumberries in some of these Pokemon, but... Again... Cool's not really here to put out big damage. He's here to sing songs. He's here to haze people. He's kind of like an American frat boy, or at least how it's painted in every other nation. How American frat boys act. So now it's going to Hex me, because it's double damage Hex, but jokes on hit, I'm swapping. So it's only going to be a 60 base power Hex into a Pokemon that resists it anyway. And then we have a few options of what to swap into. I think we'll just go straight to Smough and just try and absolutely obliterate this thing. This is the other reason why I had a lot of special attacking Pokemon as well. because the burns just don't really matter here. Yeah, I get hexed, and if it burns me down the line, it's not the end of the world. And the only nice thing about this battle is because I'm just spamming dark moves, and March Shadow is the only thing that has a neutral relationship into dark type moves. They can't really swap into my Pokemon, it just has to like take the hits. Alright, we have a paralysis flinch and a flinch chance from Dark Pulse. We didn't get it. We get the burn. It might go for rest now, but it's gonna die in probably 3 Dark Pulses anyway. And it has to get through flinches, para flinches. Okay, it got through them. So it's gonna lose the paralysis now, but it should still die in 3 attacks. We are at the mercy slightly of waking up turns as well now. Okay, so they can swap if they want to protect Giratina, but it'd be probably a bad move for the opponent. They have hit Smaug pretty hard. But that's okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Blacephalon. So I think Blacephalon, from what I remember, is quicker than me. Just gonna quick check. Yeah, it is faster. I might have to keep this Pokemon honest, to be honest with you. I'm slightly concerned because it gets Calm Mind. And I don't want to give it a free Calm Mind boost. Although if I do that... Actually, maybe I do swap here. Because it also has Hidden Power Fighting. It might go for Hidden Power Fighting. And I could try and get into General Mandible. The other thing I could do is just sack Cool. No offense, Cool. Get Cool in. Assume that attack's going to be fine and just get Tailwind up. Yeah, I'll do that, actually. It protects me from multiple things. If it can't mind, they can Hex. Not Hex. Okay, with Shadow Ball. I can Haze. So, I think we just Tailwind straight away. I think Flamethrower will kill me. And that gives me a swap into the Pokemon I want to use. Fine. Fantastic. Did you try to say your fellow chatters will live? Exactly. You are the honorable sacrifice every single time. Okay, now we're going to go into General Mandible. And you have an option. You could swap if you want to. Or you can die. I have got a horrible feeling it's going to go to Cofagrigus. Okay. So Cofagrigus is like the most annoying matchup for this Pokemon, but I can always swap if I absolutely have to. I will say Cofagrigus has now become way more scary for me. Crit, by the way. I'm just scared of Iron Defense, and I don't have the bird to protect me anymore. Let's go to Gun Devil. I kind of wanted to go to my Dragon. Okay. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have taken a Body Press. I'm not sure you take a Body Press either. You do, okay. So, as I said, this thing is quite weak on the special side, or it's weaker on the special side than the physical side, so we should be able to Dark Pulse it. I don't know if it kills, but it'll come close. Without the Cobble Berry, it just kill. Tailwind's gone. So the only scary thing with the Tailwind now is that, well, Blacephalon is one of the scary aspects, but the other scary aspect is Gengar is still around. However, the other trick of Hooper Unbound is Portal Power. I take less damage from special attacks. You're a special attacker. You're not going to be particularly happy with this arrangement, I think. You're physically weaker as well, so I'll use Space Fury this time. I hope I take this. I do. I didn't get burnt. I think this was just one shot. Yep. I lose defense. If this is Mega Gengar, we just have to, like, suck it up. It is. Okay, we just have to suck this up, except the hit. If somehow it does something and throws, which it actually can't do because they're all 100% accurate moves, I think they would all kill me. Then we will kill Gengar with this. Alright, now we can come back into General Mandible. General Mandible only has a weakness to ground typing. What does Mega Gengar not have access to? A ground type move. I'm pretty certain without Sword Dance, the Night Slash will actually kill. Oh, by the way, I think this is the reason I put 20 special defense on this Pokemon. Like, for Ivies, I take 2 Dazzling Gleams. I actually didn't pick up the kill. So, barring a crit, I think I live this. Yeah. And now the last Pokemon, I believe, is Jellicent. And what I really would like to do now, as a last hurrah, and I think Drapen is faster than Jellicent, it is. I just want to knock off leftovers. It won't kill the Jellicent, but it can't easily get back to full health anymore. It does have recover, but... Yeah, I got the crit as well. It was a 50-50 to crit on the knockoff. That's his ass. But it doesn't matter. He's just dead. My last 2 Pokemon are both faster. You know, we'll let Pennywise do some work. And this should kill. Why couldn't I have done that versus the ground guy? A one and done. Admittedly, I guess it's because I had a really good type advantage here. Alright, 4th and final member of the Elite Four. Let me just go change all my Pokemon again. This could theoretically be the scariest battle. At least on paper, it's the scariest battle. In practice, the AI for me did weird things. I'm hoping he does it again. You can have a full restore, you know. I'll be generous. And where are my Hyper Potions? Let me... Alright, actually, I'll change the TMs then, do the Ether stuff. Okay, you don't need that berry anymore. Cool, you actually don't need your Eviolite for this battle. It's the only battle you're not going to get it. You don't need this. You don't need this. You actually do need this still. And you don't need this. So, a big change item-wise. You, Mr. Incineroar, are going to get a choice band. Cool. You are going to get, in honor of the World Cup, a red card. You're going to get Light Clay. Focus Ash. And Choice Scarf. What's Red Card do? So if you get hit by a move from an opposing Pokemon and you take damage, they get forcibly swapped out. Right, you stay the same. Your moveset just doesn't change. Right, Hydreigon's does change though. So I need to bring back Flash Cannon, or Fred Flash Cannon. You don't need U-turn anymore. Nor did you really need it before, I think. Did you have flamethrower? I don't think you did, right? You need flamethrower either way. And I think you don't need Dark Pulse. Yes. Strictly speaking, you don't need Dragon Pulse either, but actually you don't need your fourth move. Hooper needs the screens. Oh, and this is one of the reasons why I do this battle as the last of the Elite Four. We don't need Hyperspace Fury anymore, and I can't put this back on this Pokemon going forwards. There is another reason, by the way, for this as well. We're going to drop another move on Drapion, which you can't relearn via TMs. Trick Room, though, has to stay, otherwise I'm in trouble. And T-Bolt. Instead of Psychic. Cool is changing your moveset again. You're actually getting a really interesting move that is somewhat rarely used. You are gonna get Torment. And it's T-Wave that goes. Wait, what? Actually, I can't remember why I put Torment on this thing. What was it for? Oh, yeah, I remember some of the reasons for this. Hisuian Samurott. Oh, fuck, I need Blizzard again. Hopefully I never have to push this button, but you never know. This thing needs Taunt. It doesn't need Dark Pulse. And I'm gonna give it Surf. And then Drapion is going to lose Night Slash. And it's going to pick up Earthquake. Yes. Then I'll check my Ether state, and then we'll go. So I need Flare Blitzes. We have some Flare Blitzes. This is fine. Probably fine. I doubt I'm with Light Clay giving more than 4 Reflex. Yeah, you don't need that many Surfs. You seem fine. Just to be safe, I'm going to give you another Ether for the Flamethrower. Alright. Save the game. Create a save state, and I'll talk you through what we're dealing with now. So, the last member of the Elite Four is someone called Arabella. Whoops. Arabella, she uses Fairy types. Fairy types are pretty good into Dark types. Scarily good into Dark types. So that immediately puts me in a pretty bad situation. They do super effective damage into me. I do not effective damage into them. Also, the gimmick of this battle is just completely broken. Maybe not the most broken, but it's really obnoxious. So, Misty Terrain is permanently up, so I can't put status on people. It won't work. That's what Misty Terrain stops. Dragon type move, strictly speaking, is also debuff, but it doesn't matter all fairy types. Also, there's this special Misty Terrain with pixies on it. And what the pixies does is if a Pokemon enters the field, whichever of its defensive stats is lower, it will gain a +1 stat in that category. So, for example, I think Magearna's got a slightly lower defensive stat with this IV spread, and it'll gain a +1 boost to the defense stat, and yeah, it'll just make everything really, really tanky. So not only are moves not effective into these things, they actually get additional boosts as well. Arabella, the Tiefling child blessed by the god of death in the hit game Baldur's Gate 3 Arabella. No, this game came out before it, so actually they copied this game. So yeah, that's one of the pretty scary things. The other slightly scary thing is, like, Fairy Steel is the strongest typing in the game. Somewhat debatably, but like within reason, it's the strongest type. And they have two. They have Magearna, which is a mythical Pokemon, which is really obnoxious. Admittedly, it's not particularly obnoxious in the form they've chosen for this battle, but it's still pretty obnoxious. And they have Mega Mawile as well, which is also a Fairy Steel type, and is pretty obnoxious. They then come with one of the other best Pokemon that was ever made in the game, at least it was as of Gen 6 in Xerneas. And then just some strong other Pokemon around there. Azumarill, huge power, with Belly Drum, just some scary guys. The other scary thing about it is, like, Fairy Steel, your two options are to use Fire-type moves or Ground-type moves. If you try and use a Ground-type move, they'll go into Togekiss and you won't do any damage. If you try and do a Fire-type move, they'll go into Azumarill and it will do very little damage. And actually, we could have tried to bring more Dark Fire types, but it would have created, like, some really awkward situations, because Fire is not particularly good into the other matchups. Like, it's not especially good into the Dark guy, it's not good into the Ground guy, it's not good into the Dragon guy, so, like, it really hamstrings you to try and bring some other Pokemon that, like, are good into this battle. But to, like, go through the list, Magearna has Analytic rather than what its, like, typical abilities, which is called Soul Heart, so we don't need to worry about that much. But Analytic means you do more damage if you move second on the turn. Magearna is pretty slow. It has screens, or screen, I guess, not screens. It's got Reflect with Light Clay. If that goes up, these things just basically become unkillable for me. So we on the spot lose the game if Reflect goes up. Has Hidden Power Fire as well, and Flare Cannon, which I think is like, is it like Draco Mewtwo, but on for Fairy side? I know you get a special attack drop right with it. It's something like that. You lose stats, but it's a massively damage dealing Fairy move. This thing is almost certainly going to go second, so it's going to get the analytical boost on it, and it basically just one-shots Pokemon. Heart Swap is a really obscure move as well, which I think I had to look up what it did. I think Heart Swap takes your stat boost, and you just get the stat boost, so again, if I try and, like, set up in front of Magearna, it's really scary, because Magearna will just steal my stat boost. Then we have Clefable, which is Unaware, which again ignores my stat changes. Has Leftovers, it's a pretty bulky Pokemon anyway, especially with the Pixie terrain. And yeah, with the Leftovers, it's just going to be really hard to remove. Has things like Counter, so if I try and use a physical attack into it and I don't kill it, it's going to counter me and just obliterate me. Again, to make it even harder to remove, it's got Soft Boil so it can heal itself. And between Flamethrower and Moonblast, pretty good coverage. By the way, the reason why a lot of these Pokemon have got Fire-type moves is the other big weakness of Fairy types is normally Steel types. So they have a lot of coverage to, like, deal with Steel-type Pokemon. And then the other weakness of Fairies normally is Poison-type, but you have the Fairy Steel types that are immune to Poison, so it has a lot of, like, immunities in this battle, a lot of resistance to my Pokemon, and then just a lot of high defense stats, so it's a really horrible battle. Togekiss is here. Togekiss has got Serene Grace. Serene Grace doubles the secondary effects of moves, if they're a percentage. For example, I think Moonblast's effect is drop special defense, and I think it goes off 20% of the time, is it? Actually, I can't remember, maybe it's 10% of the time. Maybe it's 10%, I think, well, 20% with Serene Grace, so it's pretty obnoxious. It's not the most obnoxious thing you can do with Serene Grace, but it's pretty annoying. Moonblast is going to be pretty good into all my Dark-type Pokemon. Aura Sphere is a Fighting-type move, which is also going to be pretty good into my Dark-type Pokemon. And it comes with Flamethrower. If I try to use a Steel-type, it's just going to melt it. This thing is Choice Scarfed as well. So I think it's the fastest Pokemon I have to deal with in the entirety of the Elite Four plus Champion Battle. But not including, like, Tailwind stuff. So yeah, it's a pretty scary Pokemon. It's actually just really hard to deal with. It's also very bulky. Azumarill. Azumarill has got Huge Power. Huge Power boosts your attack stat by double. And it's only given to Pokemon that have, like, got, you know, a poor natural attack stat. This thing is also holding Normalium Z. And the reason it's holding Normalium Z is Normalium Z turns normal type moves into their Z move equivalent. And in the case of Azumarill, it's going to use Belly Drum Z. And what Belly Drum does is it normally halves your health and then gives you a +6 to your attack stat. And between the +6 attack stat and Huge Power, you're just going to obliterate everything. Like, even with an Aqua Jet, which is like a 40 base power move with priority, you can just one-shot Pokemon. But with Normalium Z, the effect of Belly Drum Z is that you halve your health, and then you restore your health to full. So not only do you, like, get the +6 attack stat with the huge power effect, it also removes the downside of it, which is halving your health. Other thing worth noting about this Azumarill, we'll see it more going forwards. It's actually also got unfair EVs. It's got more EVs than it's meant to, but, you know, if the game needs to cheat, so be it. They can cheat. Mega Mawile, Fairy Steel typing, best typing in the game. Also has huge power when it Mega Evolves, so again, basically doubles its physical attack, and that means it's got a reasonable attack stat when it Mega Evolves. Also, in its base form, it has Intimidate. Intimidate drops your attack stat by 1 stage. And that's really good on a Mega Pokemon because, like, you get the benefit of your non-Mega ability, and then you Mega Evolve, and then get, like, a second ability effectively on that turn. So it's really obnoxious to play against. Play Rough, very strong physical fairy move. Has Sucker Punch, which will do pretty big damage, even into, like, resisted dark types. Swords Dance, so you can set up and just become, like, a bootleg King Gambit. And Iron Head, which if it can get faster than you, it could potentially get some flinches and be all-round annoying. And finally, probably, like, one of the scarier Pokemon here is Xerneas. Xerneas has got the ability Fairy Aura. Fairy Aura buffs any Fairy-type damage. I think it's 20% the buff you get onto it. But the really obnoxious part of this Pokemon is it's got Power Herb. Power Herb is a somewhat niche item for the most part, except it's almost only ever used on Xerneas. Sorry, it's almost always used on Xerneas. It's used on other Pokemon, but, like, it's like Xerneas' held item almost. It's, like, designed for it. But anyway, moves that require 2 turns to go off. If you have a Power Herb, they'll go off in 1 turn. And the reason this is important is that Xerneas has got a signature move called Geomancy. And Geomancy gives you a +2 boost to your special attack, special defense, and speed stat. But the downside of it normally is that it takes 2 turns to go off. But with a Power Herb, it goes off in 1 turn. And you just double all your special stats. And Xerneas is a special attacker. Between the Pixie Terrain and the Geomancy special defense boost, this thing is going to hit like a truck and be as strong as like a mountain. It's going to be horrible. Has Hidden Power Fire, because, like, one of the big things to do to Xerneas is hit it with a really strong Steel type before it can set up. If you try and do that and you don't kill it, it will just kill you with Hidden Power Fire. Has Terrain Pulse as well, which in the case of Misty Terrain is going to be Fairy, and it's going to do big damage. And it's also got T-Bolt for, I guess, a bit of coverage. When I did the bug playthrough of this, my counter to Xerneas, like, my only counter was to use Bullet Punch on a Scizor, which, with, like, a boost on a Choice Band and Technician, would just one-shot the Xerneas. Dark types don't have that equivalent. Like, I was looking at Pangoro Bullet Punch, but regardless of what you do to it, you actually can't one-shot the Xerneas, so it's really, really obnoxious to deal with in this battle compared to how it was the previous time. Anyway, so what are my solutions to this problem? Okay, so my solutions are so unbelievably hand-wavy, it's untrue. The first part of it is that I'm going to try and abuse the AI to some degree. And it's going to be to a reasonable degree for a few of the Pokemon. So, Choice Band Flare Blitz has a 60% chance to kill Magearna. That is step 1 of the process. I need to kill the Magearna with a Flare Blitz, otherwise I think I just lose on the spot. It does somewhat depend. Like, if they use Reflect, I think I lose on the spot. If they don't use Reflect, maybe I can get away with it, but I'm relying on Flare Blitz just killing the Magearna. It's not guaranteed, but as long as I pick up the kill there and they don't get the Reflect off, we're actually kind of good to go. So that's step 1 of the process. If I don't do this, I actually can't deal with Magearna. And that's obviously not a good situation to be in. The other Pokemon that, like, it really matters here is actually General Mandible. And this is the actual big reason why I brought General Mandible over any other Pokemon. It does something I couldn't do on, well, really any of the other Dark types. And this is... It has a counter to this effect of boosting defense stats on the field. Because... normally, when you hit a Pokemon with a +1 defense stat, that gives a 50% boost to its defensive stat. The exception, though, is if you crit the Pokemon. If you crit it, you ignore the defensive boost that they have. So if I can get General Mandible set up with a Swords Dance, if I hit a Pokemon with a Cross Poison, with the Scope Lens, with the Super Look, it's a guaranteed crit, and it will ignore any defensive stats they've gained. And with this, General Mandible can actually one-shot virtually every Pokemon with a Cross Poison. And the real gimmick about this kind of... I've only done one test of this, by the way. But when I tested this, the AI doesn't really, like, respect it too much. It sort of just assumes that you can't kill me. But it doesn't, like, account for the fact I'm going to get a crit on this turn guaranteed, so they could make some really questionable swaps, in which case, General Mandible is going to pick up kills where, like, if I was playing against a real human, they could probably deal with. The other issue this Pokemon's got is it can't really deal with what's his name very well? Mawile. Because Mawile will intimidate it to drop it to a +1 attack stat. This is why Earthquakes on this Pokemon, you can actually put some damage into the Mawile, albeit it probably can't one-shot it. So the real dream, if I could actually get away with it, is doing 2 Swords Dance. But that's like, it's probably a bit of a pipe dream to try and do 2 Swords Dances. By the way, the other reason why this Pokemon's got a small speed investment is, with this speed investment, I'm 1 speed faster than Xerneas. So I can potentially, if I've got the Swords Dance up and cross-poison the Xerneas, I can one-shot it. So that is the big grand plan of this battle. And then kind of the other Pokemon are just here for show. I'm like really hoping I don't need to use them too much, but you never know. One other thing about the stat line of this Drapion as well is it should theoretically be able to set up in front of Clefable. I think it takes a Moonblast from Clefable without dropping below half health. So I'll be trying to set up in front of Clefable if I can. Theoretically, I could do it in front of some other Pokemon as well. I could theoretically do it in front of a Azumarill, but it's a bit risky because I probably would have to take a Belly Drum boosted Aquajet, and that would be pretty bad. One of the things, I'll say about this Incineroar as well. I actually completely forgot about this. The Incineroar should live through the if it gets the one-shot off, it'll live through the turn. And it's actually quite impactful because if it goes to Azumarill, if I Flare Blitz the Azumarill, I can drop it to, and it's a damage roll below 50% health. And if I do that, then it can't Belly Drum anymore. And that's actually a pretty big deal. But yeah, for the other Pokemon, Pennywise is here. It's got a Focus Sash because basically every Pokemon here can one-shot it. So just so we can get an attack off, I've sashed it. In terms of what move it gets off, I mean, its best stab move is probably Surf, with the exception of maybe even like the exceptions are probably like Togekiss, where maybe we use Blizzard instead for super effective damage. But we're probably just punishing Surf. Or if a Pokemon's on 1 health, we push Aquajet and just try and pick up a kill. The only reason Taunt's on here is like, maybe I can taunt the Xerneas, but this is slower than the Xerneas, so it probably won't actually come up. Maybe I can taunt Magearna, but again, we hopefully don't get into that situation. So yeah, this Pokemon is actually here as an Aquajet / Surfbot, and we only get 1 of them before it perishes, probably. Gundevil has got screens. Like, I could have a better battle if we can get screens up, especially Light Screen, because there's a lot of special attackers here. So Gundevil theoretically can take some hits. And actually, the big problem I'm targeting with this guy is Togekiss. Togekiss can't one-shot Gundevil because it's only got special attacks, and this thing with Portal Power can take 1 of the Moonblasts. In fact, I think it can take 2 Moonblasts even. And if I can get Light Screen up, and I start using T-Bolts into Togekiss, it can actually win the 1v1. I probably won't be pushing Trick Room in this battle because the speeds are actually quite slow for most of the Pokemon, with the exception of Togekiss. But I need Trick Room for later. Cool is here for a few reasons. Cool's got the red card, by the way. I forgot to mention we had Light Clay on Hooper as well to prolong the screens for longer. Hooper's got a red card. So red card's an item that if you get hit by a damaging move, you eject the attacker. The only reason I've got this is because I was really scared about Azumarill setting up. If Azumarill sets up with Belly Drum and gets back to full health again, there's not many ways for me to deal with it, especially on a Switch. And this gives me a way of dealing with it. Again, Cool, you sort of take 1 for the team. You swap into the Azumarill like Aquajets you or something. You're gonna die, but you'll red card the Azumarill, swap it out, and it'll lose its +6 stats. And so the other point of this is Nabalium Z, you can only use it 1 time, so they can't do that strategy again. You can normal Belly Drum, but then they get the downside of halving the health. Also, just in case this thing is like in front of the Azumarill when Belly Drum goes off, it does have Haze as well to remove the debuff. It's the other reason why I have Haze on this Pokemon. Tailwind could be nice as well. If I get Tailwind up, I can get faster on some of my Pokemon than Togekiss, and it makes the matchup a lot more appealing. And then finally, I've got Torment on this thing just to stop them maybe like repeatedly using Fairy-type moves. Which is like, for the most part, the only really scary move on these Pokemon are the Fairy-type moves. Togekiss is like the exception again because it has a Fighting-type move as well, but if I can Torment one of the Fairies like a last parting hurrah, maybe something else can beat the Pokemon. For example, I maybe get General Mandible and set up in front of one of these Pokemon without taking the Fairy-type damage. And, you know, that might be the difference between winning and losing. We've seen Incineroar. Smaug. Smaug is here with a Choice Scarf. With the Choice Scarf item, I believe it's... I actually not got the stat here. I should really have this stat noted down somewhere. Yeah, with the Choice Scarf, it's actually faster than the Togekiss. It's 333 speed. And that might be the difference between me winning and losing. If this Togekiss, I can soften it up. I can launch a Flash Cannon into the slot and hopefully kill it. But again, this Pokemon is 4 times weak to Fairy, so if it's actually on the field and has to take a damage hit, it's going to die. Everything will one-shot this Pokemon, so we're just hoping to maybe pick up, like, a softened-up target here. And that's the strategy. This is the team. I'm really concerned because basically if my opening goes wrong, we just lose. And in testing, I did this only one time. I won in testing, but as I said, the AI was really dumb when I did it, so I'm really, really concerned that we might lose this many, many times. I will try and play out the game if Magerna lives the first attack. But I think it puts us like in a we're not going to win situation. So yeah, it's a +1 to its defense stat. I learned its attack stat, which is completely relevant. 6% chance to get a kill. That's bad. It sets up Reflect. It's not necessarily the end of the world. It's pretty bad, though. It means like stuff like Azumarill is going to be a pretty big issue. And because they've got Light Clay, I have some time to stall. I'm also going to have to keep this thing honest. I'm going to have to Flare Blitz again. Okay. Just in case they swapped. I'm not thinking too much recall anyway. Okay, I'm pretty certain we're going to lose. Oh, by the way, this is the other reason Murkrow's here. I can get rid of the Geomancy boost on Xerneas as well, which is actually pretty impactful. Like, I don't have... I guess I could Will-O-Wisp. Though I'm slower. You know what? Hold on. If they Geomancy, I'll just swap into Cool. If they damage me, they'll get red carded. It would be a pretty bad use of red card, though, so I'm really hoping they just Geomancy. Uh-oh. That's probably the end of days. I'm gonna hope for the best. That's bad. Well, actually, is it bad? Yeah, that's bad. That's Geomancy, so we're going to lose. I think this thing will one-shot me now. And it's faster than me. If I can live this... Okay, we'll reset. If I can live this, there was a chance, but... I was sort of hoping the AI would swap, but I don't think just raw, what's his name, Cross Poison one-shots this thing. It's cool, the best Dark-type Pokemon. It's been a really solid Pokemon throughout the playthrough. Kind of reminds me of the book playthrough of Araquanid, where it just, like, did a really good supportive job, like, throughout the entire playthrough. Alright, Incineroar, how about we get a kill this time? Incineroar. Come on. Alright, it's fine. I'll just start the Reflect. 6 more turns to go. So this time I have to just stay in, I think. I guess I'll try and Will-O-Wisp it. No, I can't, wait. Misty Terrain, right, I literally can't do that. Okay, I just keep them honest, I make them Terrain Pulse. Let me see how much damage this does. I should have checked this calc. I think it doesn't kill 1 cross poison. Oh wait, I can knock it off as well. Yeah, hold on, I knock it off. That's the right play. Because now if it Geomancies, it's going to take 2 turns. Can I see statistics of which Pokemon used to beat the most important fights the most times? I have those statistics. They're in an Excel spreadsheet. So I still don't think this will kill. Oh, he was so close, though. Okay, we're in a situation now where I actually think I have to just sack something. Oh, we'll use Pennywise. We'll use the Sash of Pennywise. I can't let that Pokemon go down. So I'll live thanks to the Sash. I'm hoping an Aqua Jet kills from here. Alright, Xerneas is gone. At most of the point, the Screeds, the turns are ticking. Oh god. Am I faster? I think this thing's just going to Aqua Jet me, but I am faster. I think what I'm going to do, because I can't risk swapping into an Aqua Jet right now, I'm just going to use Taunt. If they try and Belly Drum, I'll stop the Belly Drum. But yeah, if the Aqua Jet, they take the kill. You'd like to see them? I'll show you at the end. So, this is where things get a bit messy. I think if I go to General Mandible, I think I live an Aqua Jet plus 6, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong, though. So I'm going to try and Swords in front of it. Okay, they didn't go for it. Maybe I did live it. But now I've got a Sword Stance off. This should kill. Shh. Fine, that's the last priority move. So I need the AI to be stupid now. If they go to Mega Mawile, I think we lose. But if they go to anything else, I think we could potentially win. Except that. I forgot Togekiss is still alive. No, I'm not quicker than you, Togekiss. Oh, fuck's sake. The problem is if I let this thing die, I actually can't kill Mawile anymore. I'll sack Smaug. Hopefully, for some reason, it does Air Slash instead. Never mind, Moon Blast. Oh, I didn't know it had Air Slash. Air Slash has got like a... Is it like a 6% chance to flinch me? I remember that's the usual play of Serene Grace. Like, you try and go for flinch with Air Slash. Okay, cool. Give me some Tailwind, please. I think this is your ass. Oh, I forgot to mention about the red card. I think you actually have to survive the hit as well for it to go off. You know what? Retrospectively, Tailwind was probably pointless there. I might have thrown a bit. Wow, I did not expect you to swap. That's a real shame, because I nearly pushed Reflect. You've got Clefable left. I forgot about Clefable. Hold on. This actually might not be that bad, though. It's probably going to try and counter me. Wait, why did you swap to this? Like, Moonblast isn't bad, but it's not going to kill, I think. Yeah, I did nothing. The problem is I'm not going to do anything either. I need to swap, but I have got a safe swap, so I'm kind of screwed, honestly. How much is this there? I expect, like, nothing. It's not nothing, but it's not enough. Give me a paralysis. A paralysis. I need you to hit Mega Ball well as well at some point. Okay, just no paras for me. Special attack drops, that's not going to make my life easier. But I'll trade it for a paralysis. Alright, so time to heal. Man, if you didn't get the special attack drop, I would have killed there. Alright, I'm due. Paralysis. Okay. The game is actually just fully over, I think, now. Interestingly swapped. Hold on, this is actually giving me a chance now, I think. Assuming I can get into... I mean, in fact... Yeah, I'm fine. I dodged the Intimidate now. I've got some damage to this thing. It's a 50-50 if I crit the Earthquake, but if I crit it, I might kill them all while from here. I've lost Reflect, but it doesn't matter. I don't need it where I'm going. Gonna get huge power, which is... okay. It means it can't ever intimidate my... Drapion. No, I actually, sorry, I always lose this still. Right. Togekiss is still here. I'm actually so close to winning this, but... yeah, I can't beat Togekiss. What I'm gonna do... is I'm gonna cross Poison Mawile, and I'm gonna hope that it hot swaps to Togekiss, expecting a ground-type move. Alright, we lose. I did actually think about the Sucker Punch killing me from there. So yeah, I was always dead. It was the only line that could win, though. Okay. Alright, Incineroar. Third time's a charm. You're doing your favor, by the way, to pick up a kill here. Alright. I've seen enough. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering why am I not faking it out through that extra bit of damage, I'm choice banded, I can't. I have to lock into the first move. I'd love to use fake out first just to make it guaranteed. Roll. Does the AI know what move you're going to use? I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I suspect they kind of know what moves I've got and prepare appropriately. And I think they know when like I'm going to kill them or not. By the way, here I'm just going to Flare Blitz again, because Flare Blitz has got a damage roll to get it below half health. When it gets it below half health, this thing can't belly drum anymore. And this thing is not that scary if it can't belly drum. Okay, below half. That's Incineroar gone, but it's fine. It's done its job. And now that it's done this, I might try and do the play I did last time, where I go to General Mandible. Is that the right play, though? Yeah, I think it's the play I have to make. I was just checking my notes of this, and it says, like, once you've done this and got to this stage, just do Swords Dance. Alright, Azuro's gone. What we don't want to see right this second is Togekiss again. Okay, give me 1 second. I need to bring up the the damage calculator. I can't remember how much Togekiss does to this thing. If I can live the hit, I will take the attack. So, my Drapion into Togekiss. Togekiss Moonblast will do about 60% of my health. My health is more than 60, so I'll take this. And this will one-shot. Special attack drop doesn't matter. Togekiss is gone. And now the real cool thing is there's no Pokemon faster than my Drapion anymore. The only scary Pokemon is Mawile, so we don't want to see Mawile now. That's completely fine. Clefable, you fucked up. And this is the AI again getting confused. Because in the AI's eye, Cross Poison can't kill it. But the game doesn't know I'm going to get a guaranteed crit, which is going to go through its defense boost, which means, like, I will be killing it. So I basically got a free kill. And the real dream now is, again, if we don't go to Mawile. Okay. It's still fine. We go down to +1 attack instead. It's a 50% chance I get a crit. If I get a crit, I don't think it will kill, but it'll get close. But it's still going to soften it up. And now I just need to find a way through Mawile and... What's the other one that was left? Okay, you Sucker Punch me. So last Pokemon. Oh, shoot, Xerneas is still alive. That's fine. Cool can kill Xerneas. Smile. I think this might be good, Devil. Oh, it's actually pretty spooky, this. Because it might Swords Dance, and I really don't want to see Swords Dance. This isn't over yet. This is losable. Okay, that's actually fine. The scary thing that was Swords Dance. Still a lot of damage, it's still going to kill me in another hit. But I've now potentially set up so that my other Pokemon maybe can live. Actually, I don't know if this was right. That crit is so monumentally huge. No one has any idea. That's actually a crazy crit for me. I need to damage calc the ending. I think I have a guaranteed lethal, but I'm actually not sure. How much does Hydreigon Flash Cannon do to Mawile? It's 59. Oh, sorry, it's 55-ish%. I can't see what they're at, but I think they're around below 50 because of the crit. Then I need to check as the final calculation. How much does it do to Xerneas? Oh, hold on a minute. Before I fuck up the calc, it's got a special defense boost. Okay, it's not going to do that much. But Earth Power will kill it. Okay, so I think I'm going to Earth Power it to get the kill. What a fucking mess. And then Xerneas, I'll be locked into Earth Power. Which will do... It's not a lot. It's really not a lot. It'll do about 1/3 of your health. The other line is to just go straight into Pennywise. Sorry, I don't want to fuck this up because it's actually going to be quite hard to get back to the position potentially. So let's make sure I do it right. So Mega Mawile in front of Pennywise. I doubt Pennywise can actually do anything to it. It has Surf. And its special defense boosted by 1. Surf is going to do a little less than half, which I think is about where its health is. This is horrible. How much does this do to Xerneas, though? the numbers actually don't look good for me right now. Oh my god. I think I have to go into Smaug now. Okay, it has way less health than I thought it did. Okay, hold on a second. If I can get away with... Fuck's sake. If I can get away with using the Steel type move now, it'd be so big for me. So Flash Cannon is going to do about 35% of its health, which I think is pretty close to what it's got left. I think I'm just going to roll the dice. Because this will do like 6% to Xerneas. Please kill. I've been a good boy. That's somewhat irrelevant. I'm down to one shot anyway. Actually, that's not irrelevant. That's actually good. Because I can actually launch into this again if I don't get the kill. Which I didn't. The scary would have been not to be Sucker Punch. Because, like, whatever Xerneas does, it's going to one-shot me. I'm 4 times weak to Fairy. So, fortuitously, nice crit. The AI didn't play rough, which, by the way, would have done 400% of my health as damage. I think it's now over. Like, I've got a guaranteed victory. Because what I can do is I can Flash Cannon, which will do like half, slightly more than half your health. If you Geomancy, I can go to Murkrow. Oh my god, he's less than half your health. Hold on a minute. Are we actually done? The special defense drop's nice. That actually might matter, low-key. Nah, I don't think it did. I think we're killing either way. It did less than I thought, though. But we're going to Flash Cannon. They will kill me. Never mind, I'm still faster than you, despite the +2. Sorry, doubling the speed stat. So you're +1 special defense right now. But you won't be in a second. That's the crucial part. We go to Cool. Turns out your red card wasn't actually useful in the end, but it was still nice to have it. We can Haze with Prankster, we'll go first. I could also Prankster Torment, but just in case they've locked into Thunderbolt instead, I'm just not going to risk it. Get rid of the stat boosts. So now this Geomancy turn has been, like, forgotten. I'm probably dying to this regardless. Yeah. You might have lived with an Eviolite. And then Pennywise comes in, it's slower than Xerneas. However, I've got the Sash intact. So we just launch a Surf into Xerneas. It might not kill, but it'll get close enough, I think, that we can Aqua Jet it down. Okay. That's acceptable. That's actually a really hard battle. Like, the deck is stacked so against me. Okay, you're gonna be glad to know now, I actually have no testing notes anymore. You winned it, you actually did win it. I think without you, we couldn't have won. And it's kind of the reason why I brought you, Cool. I just decided that Haze was going to be so useful in this battle, potentially. I had to keep it, like, throughout the battle. Okay. So we create a save state, and we are up to the champion battle now. Just doubly make sure I got the saves. Okay. So yeah, I've not tested the champion battle, so we might not be able to beat it, but I'm hoping everything's good. Get the revives out as well. And you know what? The creme de la creme for my guys, get the max potions out. We'll crack out the good stuff. It's a celebration. Okay, cool. Give me that red card. I need your item. I need your item. Wait. Okay, hold on. Yeah, no, it's fine, fine. I thought I put a weird item on you that I shouldn't have done. That's not true. Wait, you're the one person that keeps your item. Okay, Hydreigon is playing the game of swap the choice item. You're going back to a choice spec. You are going to go to ICMZ. I've not used a Mega throughout this Elite 4. In fact, it's the first time I think I've not used a Mega on the Elite 4 for one of these, like, monotype runs. We can't Dynamax in it. It's not allowed at this point in the game. But I'm going to use a Z Crystal for the first time. So we're going to put ICMZ on you so that I can turn your Blizz into, I think it's called Sub-Zero Slammer. Which honestly sounds like Mortal Kombat Yowie. Hooper, you're going to get Life Orb. Incineroar, you get your Assault Vest, buddy. And Cool, you're actually gonna get a Focus Sash. So for a change, you're gonna live for 2 turns at least. Okay. Now for TMs. Shockingly, Incineroar is actually going to get a move. For the first time through the Elite 4, I've kept the moveset consistent, but now I'm going to change it. You may have noticed because I put the Assault Vest on it and don't need Will-O-Wisp anymore. Because I literally can't push Will-O-Wisp with the Assault Vest on. So you're going to take U-turn instead of Will-O-Wisp. Then Hydreigon doesn't need Flash Cannon anymore, so we're going to play the game of which Pulse move you're going to have on you. And it's going to be Dark Pulse you're going to have on you. So you need Flamethrower, you need Earth Power, you need Dragon Pulse. Yep, Flash Cannon goes. Hooper needs to get rid of all the screens. They need T-Bolt, Drain Punch, and Psychic. Actually, while I'm here, I also need Scald. I've learnt my lesson from the ground guy. I'm not going to surf my own Pokemon anymore. We'll use Scald instead of Surf here. Actually, while I'm here, Murkrow, cool, you're getting T-Wave back. If Perishong was a TM, I would give it to you right now. It's not great in this last battle, but it is usable, actually. And I probably don't need haze too much, albeit it's nice to have. Right. Drain Punch. You still need Trick Room. You need T-Bolt as well, so it's the screens that go. Where is Psychic? Murkro's right. Samurott, I think, isn't quite right, actually, because you get Protect in this battle as well. You will not be using Taunt. And actually, while we're on Protect, General Mandible is also getting Protect. We do not need Earthquake anymore. And I think we're good. Assault Vest, Focus Sash, Life Orb, Icium Z, Scope Lens, Choice Specs. Okay, that's right. Moves. No special, sorry, no non-attacking moves. You have Tailwind, which honestly is what you're really here for. Drain Punch. Blizzard for Icium Z. And Knockoff. Okay. Let me save the game. I'll create another save state and we'll go up. So the last battle is the champion. You wouldn't believe who the champion was. And that's all I'm going to say. It's another double battle. Actually, let me get the leads right as well. My lead is Hydreigon, and Murkrow. So yeah, it's a double battle. There's no special gimmicks other than it being a double battle. However, he is using some pretty strong Pokemon. Alright. So, this is the champion battle. We are fighting Jax. That's right, Nurse Jax. Somehow he's fluked his way to the champion, but he hasn't got his Toucan anymore. He's thrown his Toucan away. Turns out he thinks that Mega Rayquaza a bit better than Toucan, and so he has a Mega Rayquaza. Also worth noting in this battle, before I go through all the stats, they're all cheated. They all have, like, max EVs, with, like, 2 exceptions, I think. Yeah, 2 exceptions. Magnezone has got actually a fair... In fact, I'm cutting off at the bottom. Magnezone's got a fair EV spread. Like, it's actually a real one. Can we see the bottom now? It's got a fair EV spread. And Arcanine has not got a fair one, but it's fairer than some of the other ones. It's only missing Attack, which is like, okay, because actually it has attacking moves, so it's, you know, it's pretty good for us. And interesting, it has no speed EVs, which again is actually pretty good for us. But yeah, everything other than that is max EV, so that's automatically pretty annoying. But for the champion, he's got Mega Rayquaza. This is a Dragon Flying type Pokemon with a really broken ability. It comes with Delta Stream. Delta Stream is a weather condition that clears all other weather conditions on the field. It's a primal weather condition. And it removes the weakness of flying type Pokemon. So Mega Rayquaza would normally be 4 times weak to ice. Unfortunately, in Delta Stream, it's not. It's only 2 times weak to ice. And like normally electric damage would be neutral. It's actually resisted because Dragon resists electric, because it removes the flying type weakness. A Pokemon like losing one of the weaknesses is actually a pretty big deal. It like takes away the downside of dual typing, really. Also, this Pokemon is just grossly OP. V-Create, I think, is a move that was never, like, actually legal in the game, from what I remember. I think it's 180 base damage Fire-type move. Like, it's actually disgusting. I can't remember the stats that drop. Like, all the moves on Mega Rayquaza drop its stats, which is like how I dealt with it on a previous playthrough. I just, like, sat there, like, tried to tank the hits while it was lowering its own stats. I really should have the file thing open for this, but I forgot to open it, and I can't bother doing it now. But yeah, it drops, like, special attacks. Maybe like special defense and speed or something. I don't remember. But yeah, V-Create will drop its stats, but it's just insanely powerful. Similarly, Dracometeor drops your special attack by 2 stages, but it's like a 150 base. Is it 150 base? 140. 140 base, I think, Dragon type move in this game. It can miss, but like, if it hits something, it's probably going to die. Dragon Ascend, I can't exactly remember it again, but I think it's another stat dropping move. It's like a 120 base power flying move. So yeah, if you get hit by this, you're going to know about it, because again, it's Mega Rayquaza, so it's got really high stats and max EVs. And then finally, for reasons unknown really to me, I guess for like, to deal with any potential fairies, it's got Iron Head, which is fairer than the other moves. It's only 90 base power, but it can flinch. The other really annoying thing about Mega Rayquaza is it's the only Mega Pokemon in the game that doesn't require a Mega Stone to evolve. You just need Dragon Ascent to Mega Evolve. And as a result, it can actually hold an item. The item it holds is Lumberry, which is really annoying, because one potential way of dealing with this would be to, like, to put it to sleep. And then just, like, whittle it down while it's asleep. But you can't, well, you can't put a state on it, but it'll get cleansed off the first time. And during that time, it's just going to one-shot one of your Pokemon. So, like, it's a really, really, really scary Pokemon. In the other lead slot is Suicune, or I always call it Suicune, but I think it's Suicune. Has enough focus so you can't figure it out, which is one of the reasons why I'm not leading Incineroar. Has Icy Wind to slow down my Pokemon. Also worth noting, Mega Rayquaza really, really fucking quick, so yeah, it's going to outspeed most of my Pokemon without a Tailwind. It's going to Icy Wind my Pokemon, the Suicune. It's going to slow them down. If I just ignore it and try and deal with like the Mega Rayquaza, which is a huge threat, it's got Calm Mind, so it can boost its special defensive stat and also can boost its special attack stat. And this thing can very soon start hitting pretty hard as well. And then finally, it's got Scald, which is, you know, if you use a Scald, you won't get the burn, but if the enemy uses a Scald, they'll get the burn every single time. And if you're burnt on the physical attacker, you basically don't exist. Then in the back, we have Magnezone. It has Sturdy, so you can't just one-shot this thing unless you have a double-hit move. It has an Air Balloon as well, so you can't just instantly hit it with a Ground-type move. You have to pop the balloon first, then you get it with a Ground-type move. Interesting, the file here, it says Hidden Power Water, question mark, so we'll see if it is Hidden Power Water, maybe. It has Flash Cannon, has Thunderbolt. Probably not the scariest Pokemon here, but yeah, in a situation where it's like a 1v1, and they still got Sturdy up, it could be really obnoxious. Zygarde is another, I think it's a legendary, right? Zygarde, it's not mythical. So Zygarde is a Dragon Ground type Pokemon, which is 4 times weak to Ice, which is, spoilers, one of the reasons why I've got Ice Team Z. It's got an ability called Power Construct, and when this Pokemon goes below half health, I think it is, it transforms into Zygarde 100% or complete form, and it gets a disgusting stat increase, like a monumentally big stat increase. And it's just going to hit like a train. So the dream is I don't trigger Power Construct, I just one-shot it, which is why I've got ICMZ here. Also has Dragon Dance, so it can raise its speed and attack stat and just swoop through my team if I don't respect it. 1,000 Arrows, oh my god, I can't remember what 1,000 Arrows does anymore. It's a ground-type move. I think it hits both slots. I think it actually hits flying-type Pokemon. I think that's its gimmick, right? Yeah. Ungrounded Pokemon can be hit by this, so cool, you're not safe from the 1,000 Arrows, it can still hit you. And then Crunch is a pretty strong, you know, dark type move. Katana is an Ultra Beast. Katana, classically, like, unbelievably high attack stat, really fast Pokemon. Has got an unfortunate typing, though. It's a Steel Grass type, so if you hit it with a Fire type move, it's going to fall over. But yeah, it's going to just, like, it's going to hit super hard and die very quickly. So the dream is not letting Katana, like, get out of control. It will gain attack boost as well, I think, with its Beast Boost. And, again, if I don't respect it, it'll just sweep through my entire team. It has Sacred Sword as well, which ignores my stat increases. So if I try to, like, go really bulky, Katana can just cut through it. It is holding the Assault Vest as well, so when I say hit it with a Fire type move, it'll die. It probably will die, but the Assault Vest might actually allow it to take a hit. It's not quite as frail as you'd think it was, but it's still pretty damn frail. Finally, Arcanine, or Arcanine, as you would call it if you're a human, has Intimidate, so if you're a physical attacker, you're going to have a sad time. Also holding an Assault Vest, because this guy doesn't respect VGC rules. So it's going to be pretty hard to remove this Pokemon, either with special attacks or physical attacks. Has Heat Wave for spread damage, which is, you know, it's pretty scary, right? You don't want to be both taking Pokemon damage at the same time. And it can come with burns. It can miss, admittedly, but a double burn, you're probably in a bad state. It has Flamethrower as well if you want to do single target damage, Close Combat, and Crunch. And again, all these Pokemon are pretty goddamn quick. So unlike the previous times where I've done this, I don't really have like anything to say beyond this. I'm just sort of hoping that the squad works. Roughly speaking, my opening is going to be Tailwind and then Choice Specs a Dragon Pulse into the Rayquaza. I think it one-shots it. I think I did the calc for this with the Choice Specs. If they swap to take the hit on someone else, they're still going to take massive damage, including if they go into the Assault Vest, guys. It's still large damage. I'm basically going to try and take advantage of my Tailwind turns and get as much value from it as humanly possible. Cool is here for Tailwind mode. You set up the Tailwind. The focus actually lets you take 2 hits just in case, like, you know, you get scalded by the Suicune. And then maybe you T-Wave the Suicune, just, like, interrupt them. Again, it's all T-Waves to 1 in 4 chance of flinching, which is pretty strong, actually. And if we need to do any damage with you, you do have Brave Bird. Gun Devil, aka Hooper Unbound, has T-Ball if I need to attack the Suicune. Drain Punch for Magnezone, so I could potentially restore my health. And Psychic, I can't remember if I put Psychic on this Pokemon. I think it's just like its best damaging move that I have access to right now. Worth noting, a lot of these Pokemon are mixed attackers, but I think the special attacks are a bit more scary than the physical attacks, so the Portal Power Effect is going to give me quite a large boon. A Life Orb is just so I can output a bit of damage. As I said, Life Orb with a Drain Punch. I take the damage from the Life Orb, but the Drain Punch is healing me back up anyway, so it sort of like offsets the two. Also important to know about Gun Devil, I've left Trick Room in this Pokemon for the entire time. Because all the Pokemon are so quick, potentially after the Tailwind ends, I might be able to get Trick Room off with this Pokemon, in which case I can underspeed the rest of the Pokemon and just play Trick Room instead. So I really like, as at the very start of this, I thought this was like the most VGC-like team I've brought to the Elite Four. I have like a dual speed mode, which is really cool. Incineroar has got Intimidate, it's got Fake Out, it's got U-Turn to get out, and it's got an Assault Vest, so it's hard to kill. Again, mixed attackers, there are some scary physical attacks there. Just keep lowering the stats, keep faking them out, keep turning into like 1v1s every so often. It was the best Pokemon in the game for a reason. It's still like a really good Pokemon. The only like sad thing for me is I don't have Knockout on this Pokemon because you don't learn it until the post game. But if I could have Knockout, I would have Knockout. In lieu of that though, General Mandible, aka Drapion, has got Knockoff. If you want to get rid of one of these Assault Vests, for example, to make them a little bit softer, General Mandible can do this. The only thing I'd say General Mandible's particularly scared of in this battle as well is that Zygarde has got 1,000 Arrows, which will just one-shot me. But other than that, again, the Pokemon don't really have good ground coverage, and it's my only weakness is to ground. So, like, I think theoretically this Pokemon could sit on the field for a while and just be annoying. Will I be doing Swords Dances? I don't know. Maybe we'll try and get a Swords Dance off, but I don't think in doubles it's going to be, like, very reasonable. I think if I was going to do it, it would have to be, like, with Incineroar's help, between, like, Intimidate and Fake Off. Maybe we could get a Swords Dance off. And then finally we have Pennywise. I think it's final. Yeah, finally we have Pennywise. Pennywise got Icium Z, which will turn Blizz into Sub-Zero Slammer. If I hit that into the Zygarde, it will just get one-shot. If I don't hit that into the Zygarde could actually cause me some real headaches. Other than that, it's got Scald, which can come with a burn. Pretty reasonable to a lot of the Pokemon as well there. And Aqua Jet for priority. And again, Protect is just an all-round great move in VGC. Anyway, let's just double make sure we save the game. Let's go challenge the champion. Never mind, hold on a minute. Just before I challenge the champion, what do we like PP-wise? Probably okay. Probably okay. Might want to take Psychic up. I think just to be, like, doubly certain. Let's make sure you have this. I'll make sure you have this. But yeah, I think this battle's going to be decided by how long I can keep Hydreigon on the field. Because Hydreigon's got a really good matchup into a lot of Pokemon. There it is. The legendary Pokemon. And Mega Rayquaza. Actually, it's going to Mega Evolve in a second. So we're going to launch Dragon Pulse into Rayquaza, and we are going to Tailwind. I'm hoping this is a one-shot. If it's not, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, Hydreigon's gonna be gone. It does come with a stat reduction of the Rayquaza. Okay. So, So, here's the new problem. I kind of wanted Hydreigon to do some more work. The other issue is I kind of would like to Blizzard right now. Actually, no, I can Blizzard. I think if I want to get back into this, like, I need Blizzard to kill the Rayquaza. And I maybe Frostbite the Suicune, but I can T-Wave the Suicune. The other line is I go to General Mandible. But I think I'll take Pennywise. Oh, wait, hold on a second. No, we're fine. I was going to say, we are faster in Tailwind, right? We are. So I'm not going to Z move here. I'm just going to use a Raw Blizzard. Please don't miss. And I'm going to T-Wave this guy. The Dream is a hit on the Rayquaza and a Paraflinch. By the way, it still takes two times damage from the Dragon side of things if we hit it. Okay, we've got a double hit. We can't Frostbite anymore, actually, so that's fine. Hidden Power Electric. Okay. It's fine. The Suicune, I'm just going to hope it doesn't do too many bad things to me. I might have to swap here. So I really can't afford you to go down right now, Pennywise, because I need you for Zygarde. So I think now that I've got, well, at least one physical attacker in front of me, and I'm pretty sure an electric move is coming to this slot, at least it's a special move. I think it's going to be a grass move as well. Although it could be Sacred Sword, which would actually be pretty spooky. Either way, I'm going to go into Incineroar. And you're going to keep T-Waving their Pokemon. Alright, inner focus. It doesn't matter, we didn't need it there anyway. Nice. Okay, that's going to do nothing. Perfect. And now they have a choice to be made. They could swap, or they could take a Flare Blitz and just go away, Katana. I guess I'm not under pressure to do it immediately either. Actually, I'm under a bit of pressure to do it immediately. Yeah, let's just Flare Blitz straight to the Katana to kill it. And honestly, cool, I'm going to keep you alive. I think you have more value coming forwards. The problem I've got right now is who's killing Suicune, actually. I guess it's Gun Devil is going to try and kill Suicune. It's going to hurt me, but it gets a kill. Crit didn't matter. Don't know if I take this. I do. God, Incineroar is so strong. Tailwind's gone. Zygarde's here. Well. Okay, let's check speed order. Zygarde 242, Suicune 205. Incineroar is definitely going to be slower. I think I just hot swapped the Incineroar out. Or do I just let them take it? Because now I look at it, it's Magnezone left, Suicune left, it doesn't matter, and Arcanine, which does somewhat matter, but at this health, does it really matter that much? And this would give me my safe swap. I kind of want to try. Oh, I might get punished for this. I might be underestimating how much 1,000 hours is going to do to me. Or actually, Crunch is going to do to me now I think about it. Oh, Crunch is only neutral. I'm going to Dark Lariat the Suicune. I might try to get into Trick Room. It's so risky, though. Oh, well, that's really scary. Murkrow, I might need you to haze. But if I get Trick Room off, if you Paraflinch now, the Dragon Dance semi-works against you. Uh-oh, they double boosted. And I didn't swap into the Pokemon I need. So all in all, that's not ideal. However, it could theoretically have been worse. I am gonna set up... I can't set up screens. I'm just gonna try and take the Suicune. What? How are you... Oh, you're paralyzed. Of course you're quicker than me in Trick Room. I forgot about that. I'm done. How are you faster than me? Yeah, that's right. I T-waved you. God, it's so bulky now. Yeah, this is 1,000 arrows. It might become a double here. It might not be the end of the world, though, if it does. Ah, it doesn't. It could probably still be okay, though. I'm just worried now of Suicune. Oh, fuck's sake. The T-Wave actually is working against me now. I'm worried about Suicune electric powering my Pennywise. Because it did 1-3-1 last time. And it's Calm Mind boosted, so it'll kill. I think I have to go to Cool now. I'm going to just haze the field and remove all stat increases. I can't T-Wave Zygarde anyway, it's a ground type. I really need this to go off, though. If Suicune attacks Gundevil, we could have some scary situations. Oh, we're going to have scary situations. Oh my god, Gundevil dodging is maybe won me this battle. Because this should kill now. Okay, it's fine. One of you can die. Both of you can die, potentially, but... Sabrock can get in. So they're both dying. I think I've got one more turn of Trick Room left, right? Because that could also troll me if I don't. I do. So we're forced into Pennywise and Mandible. There are 3 Pokemon left. And that Intimidate's actually quite annoying. I'm going to Sub-Zero Slammer the Zygarde and just hope this one-shots. Which I think it will do from here. The other scary line is if this thing protects, which it might legitimately do, that might be a lost condition. In fact, it will definitely be a lost condition. Some of the damage will still go through, but it will only be a quarter. Please don't protect. It'd be so sad if you protect. Okay, I think this will one-shot it. It's 4 times weak to ice. Goodbye, Zygarde. So it's a 2v2 now. They've lost an Assault Vest, which only matters for the Samurott. Oh, it's 2v1. Okay. It's going to, as foretold, Magnezone and Drapion. The other scary thing is Arcanine's slightly faster than me. Oh, we're still in Trick Room. Wow. Okay, so we take it out. It was close, though. I'm just thinking if I want to change my lead, actually. Because I don't really want to just lose my high Ray gun for free. How's that not a kill, by the way? I'm sure I checked this. Rayquaza, as it's meant to be called. Hydreigon with choice specs. Modest. How did this not kill? It's a guaranteed damage roll from what I can see. Huh. It's even unnerfed Dragon Pulse. Oh, I'm dumb. I know what's wrong. I've not got the cheaty EVs on this thing. So, is it a damage roll? Nope, it never kills. Okay, that's bad. It gets close, but it never kills. Well, fuck. Wait, actually, is that true? No, it's not true. It can kill. It's a 31% chance to kill. Okay, you know what? I like those odds. Well, I guess I'll just keep going until I roll the 31%. Maybe I'll try and play it out still, just to see if there's anything I've missed. The alternate line is I do the Icium Z move on Rayquaza, for instance. I suspect that would kill it. Those are straight speaking better than Warning 3 because I could crit as well. Also, that can miss. Okay, well that's automatically worse than last time. We'll try Mandible instead this time as well, and try and keep some more health in the Samurott. Okay. Actually, the only difference between this game and the last game, maybe, is Suicune never paraflinched, I think. Oh, it did it one time, maybe. We might get really lucky with paralysis this time, which would drastically change the course of the battle, instantaneously proofing point. Wow, Magnezone's already here. I'm gonna try and keep Cool alive because Cool is a pretty valuable boy. Let's go into Gun Devil. And let's not throw. I'm going to try and be super greedy. I'm going to try and get a Sword Stance off. And then I'll swap the right slot this time. Gun Devil should take reduced damage from special needs to both special attackers. If I can hit the Magnezone with a Drain Punch as well, I'll get my health back. Don't burn him. Thank you. Okay, so this should be pretty big damage now. I'll knock off your Citrus Bearing. I'll Drain Punch you. Got the crit as well, which is very nice. We might be close to the end of Tailwind, which is a bit scary. Alright, Mandible's gone. Tailwind's gone. Let me get back into Cool to reset up Tailwind. I'll Drain Punch the Magma Zone again. And hope for a Paraflinch. I think this will be the last Tailwind you set. It's not quite guaranteed, though. Probably need the Paraflinch, though. Nice. Okay. So I could keep Cool alive if I wanted to. Actually, the deck has fallen kindly for you. I think we should just swap straight to Incineroar. And let's get rid of this menace. Actually, I think Drain Punch would kill from here. Let me just quickly check this. Suicune versus Hooper. Unbound. And it's a Life Orb. Actually, it might not. It only does about 20% damage. And this is with the stupid defense boost. Okay. So let's take the safe line, then let's do Thunderbolt. I'm a little bit concerned, actually. Katana might attack Gundevil here. I didn't really consider it. I kind of assumed it would go into the Murkrow slot, but... okay, it did. God, Incineroar is such a good Pokemon. And again, we should take advantage of the Tailwind turns. Though whenever it comes in, I can fake out. Zygarde. So Zygarde's a bit spicy for me. I think, unlike what my notes say here, maybe my notes are right. No, my notes aren't right. It's slower than me Incineroar in Tailwind. So I'm glad I've checked this again. So I might want to just take the kill on the Katana. Oh, hold on a minute. My Incineroar's not faster than Katana, though. Fuck. That's awkward. Oh, it's so awkward. What's the plan here? So I need to get into Pennywise to Sub-Zero some of the Zygarde, but I don't want to just throw these two pieces away at this health. I think I have to hope that Sacred Sword doesn't kill this slot. And we know he one-shot the Zygarde. So I'll Drain Punch this slot just in case I get something wrong. It also means I'm going to take less recoil damage. I mean, actually, that's pretty good damage. It is Sacred Sword. I do take it. I might still die for the Flare Blitz, but that might actually be okay. In fact, it might be optimal to die here. I think I am regardless, because I think it's going to be 1,000 arrows. Though not dying actually does matter, because I would have taken a spread damage into a single slot, so it's reduced the damage on Gundel by like 20%, I think. Holy shit, Dragon Dance. Not what I was expecting. So Arcanine is slower. Both my Pokemon are faster than theirs. I think I'm just going to take damage on the Arcanine. And probably Psychic is my best damaging move into the Arcanine, although it's got an Assault Vest. But yeah, it's Stab, Psychic into an Assault Vest versus -1 attack Drain Punch. Yeah, I think this is better. Wait, did Trick Room end? And I wasn't paying attention. I think Trick Room must have ended. I mean, I did have a save swap, so I guess this is just... It is what it is. But the Arcanine's probably going to get a kill here now. Never mind. Oh, wait, the Dragon Dance. Sorry, I'm dumb. Not paying attention. I think I want to lose this again. Like, I'm really close. Actually, I'm not that close this time because I can't deal with Zygarde. I can't... Well, if I haze it, I'm going to be slower, and if I Tailwind, I'm still slower, I think. I'll try the Tailwind, but actually, I think it's going to outspeed me still. And I can't T-Wave it. The problem I've got right now is that even if I live this turn, Arcanine's going to close combat Pennywise and it'll kill it. And then Cool will die to the burn. Yeah, Zygarde's still faster. So Pennywise is going to pick up a kill but then die in the process. Unless the Arcanine is hard thrown. And the funny thing is, I couldn't even go for the line where I tried for a freeze because you can't freeze a fire type. Because if that was an option, I could have just sent Blizzard in. Yeah, I went for close combat. Damn. The only win condition was Heat Wave, because we could miss it. Actually, it might not have killed me either from there. Okay, let's try and do this slightly differently then. I'll try and Sub-Zero Sama the Rayquaza. Actually, let me just quickly check. This does kill. I'm pretty certain this would kill. My only concern is that they're going to swap, but we'll see. Hisuian Samurott. And this is Z Blizzard, aka Super Zero Slammer. Yeah, it's a kill. Astonishingly closer than you'd think it would be. But it is a kill. Alright, we'll try this then. And I guess we'll just try and kill Zygarde with the power of friendship. And one angry dragon. Okay, well, I think it's staying in because it's Mega Evolving. Wait, I've counted it wrong. I think it's still killing, but I have a Life Orb on it, which obviously doesn't have it, has ICMZ on it. You'll die still, right? Okay. Shall we put that down as a death? Why have you got... Why did I put a Life Orb on you? It is a damage roll, but it's a worse roll than the previous one. It's only 25% in this case. Okay, I'll take the L on this one. So I think it's as painful as it is. I think our win condition is actually just use Hydreigon and hope for the damage roll. Double checking. Specs, Levitate, Max Special, Max Nature, Dragon Pulse. And Dragon Pulse is 90 damage in this game. So yeah, it's a 31.3% chance for a kill. So actually, it's less than a third. But that doesn't take into account crits as well. By the way, I don't have access to Draco Meteor, otherwise I'd use Draco Meteor. Come on. Okay, I tell you what, I think I'm just going to reset if this happens, because it could also miss the Draco Meteor. So it's slightly higher than 31% chance, because I could crit and they can miss the Draco. I think either of those lines can take me through to a win condition. I possibly could win without it, but I think it'd be fairly unlikely. But have the record note, if this wasn't cheating on EVs, it would die. Wasn't even close. And the BT hit as well. It's happening again. This happened with the bug playthrough. This is where we racked up all the deaths. In fact, I lost count of deaths. I racked up so many. Though I will say, I lost count in the bug playthrough above 300, so we have died fewer times so far. There is still time, though. Alright, show me the roll. Okay, we got the crit this time, so the roll was irrelevant. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm going to save scum this with a save state, but just in case I don't ever see this again for the next hour, let's just create a little safety save state. You know, you never know. Don't burn me, please, but I'll take the exchange. I'd rather not be burned, but... So Magnezone comes in. I'd like Suicune to not get absolutely obliterated here. The Incineroar swap is not that good for me right now. I guess we could go into Mr. Mandible. Actually, Gundevil would be even better. Yeah, swap into Gundevil again. I'd like Cool to stay alive. But I'd really like to T-Wave Suicune. If the absolute worst comes to the worst, I will Trick Room, I suppose, instead. But that's kind of scary because my Hydreigon's actually quite quick. Okay, they've decided to get rid of the true goat. So that's the end of Tailwind. speed drop, I think, matters as well. But my rough theory right now is that Gun Devil's speed doesn't matter that much, because it's just going to restore all its health back in this matchup. I don't think Suicune or Magnezone can deal with it easily. Because of Portal Power. I was going to say as well, like, Suicune can't really deal with either of us. So this should be back to full health. I'm going to knock off the Suicune to deny the Citrus Berry. We know with a crit it doesn't actually kill either way. I do appreciate the crit though. So Mandible is probably the target of Suicune. Maybe we get a Paralysis though. Nice. That's so good. We lose Tailwind. I think I'm in a situation now where this is where we're using Incineroar. It's almost certainly not going to be Sacred Sword into this slot because I double resist. Fighting type moves. And Mandible is faster than Suicune, so I think we just pick up the kill on Suicune. And then next turn, assuming Zygarde comes in, I can fake out the Zygarde. By the way, this is where I would really like Ice Fang, because it would actually be really strong now with the 50% chance to crit and the +2 attack. It might actually be able to one-shot Zygarde, but I had to drop Ice Fang for the Fairy one. I just couldn't justify keeping it on. But I would have really liked it here. I'm actually shocked it's Arcanine. So, it's going to take Mandible back down to just 1 stat, but I could remove the Assault Vest, which I think is the scary part of this. So I'm going to fake out Katana. And I'm going to knock off the Arcanine. I am sold the Arcanine on Mr. Mandible. Please don't burn me. I'm stunned. Okay, so if there was a lost condition, that was probably it. We do get the Assault Vest, but now General Mandible basically isn't a Pokemon. I might actually low-key lose this to these two. Without the burn, it would have just done so much more. I don't have a great... Actually, no, I do have an okay swap. I'm going to swap to Gun Devil because if it's Sacred Sword into this slot, it's going to be 4 times resisted, and it won't do too much damage on the Heat Wave. I think Mr. Mandible's, like, doomed, basically. I'll cross Poison. It can theoretically Poison. It probably won't get the attack off, to be honest with you. Oh, wait, no, I don't 4 times resist it. I'm dumb. So I did the opposite. Anyway, I can drop the attack stats again. I can set up Fake Out again. I think I've actually griefed this. I'm gonna Drain Punch Katana. I'm gonna fake out the Arcanine. I'm just thinking that the Katana's more likely to try and get Incineroar off the table because Incineroar can one-shot it. But if it attacks Good Devil, I'm in real bad shape. Okay. That's the worst case scenario. I don't take this. And now I can't have speed control for the rest of the game. And Katana's faster than any of my Pokemon are left. So I'm probably going to lose this. Smileck has to come in, and I think I have to lock into flamethrower, but I think Katana's going to just attack it with a Sacred Sword, so I think I've lost this. I have to double the slot. Okay, decided to take Incineroar, which is probably a better roll. Holy shit, Incineroar lived. I guess it was -2. The problem I've got now is I've locked into Flamethrower. And it ain't gonna do a lot of damage to Zygarde and Arcanine. Okay, I need the AI to throw. Throw to the likes of which we've never seen, because I'm slower. Sorry, it's not quite true. Well, I'm locked into Flamethrower here. I need this to go off. Otherwise, I can't win. That was a crit, by the way. The problem is I think Arcanine's going to close combat the Sabarot. It didn't, but if I die to this, it's still no better. Oh my god, I lived. Hold on a minute, I win now. I think I win. Because Zygarde will die to this, and I've got Aqua Jet plus Flamethrower, and I think it'll kill from here. Zygarde goes down. It's just a good boy left, I think. Not that one, the other one. So you are faster than Arcanine, but I'm locked into Flamethrower, so we have to Flamethrower it, and we can Aqua Jet it. The crit didn't matter, we were killing either way. Ladies and gentlemen, the insane difficulty Mono Dark type run, at least for the main game, complete. With almost zero cheating. It depends again what you'd class as cheating. No, I didn't use Defog, okay? And I didn't use Power Up Punch either, which both required non-Dark Pokemon to unlock. And honestly, they cheated more than me. They juiced up their Pokemon. They were like the Lance Armstrong of Pokemon. Round of applause, Smaug. Round of applause, Cool as well. Gundevil. James. General Mandible. I never thought you'd be in the Elite Four battle. And Pennywise the Clown. What a team. True insane difficulty. Fantastic work. Also, I'm sorry to my actual original starter, Overquill. I just couldn't justify in this battle. You are not the coverage king, sadly. But you are strong. 134 hours. Not that long. Alright. So we've seen this before. And the credits. Alright, we'll just use the illegitimate speed up button now to get through the credits. I guess I should say as well while we're here, you know, thank you for everyone that's made this game. It is certainly my favorite Pokemon game. Both legitimate and ROM hack. Admit I've not played all the ROM hacks, obviously, but it's such a good game. Nice. All particle difficulties have been unlocked. Okay, I think this like introduces, oh, you need to do this in the post game now. All right. Yeah. Battle Frontier. La 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 la. Let me do my outro, okay? It's fine, I'll just speed through this. Oh, this actually is quite important, this part. Okay. So we hit the post-game. I think I will do some of the post-game again, a bit like I did on the bug playthrough. Maybe not quite as much as I did on the bug playthrough. I certainly want to do the refights with all the gym leaders. I would like to beat the actual like post-game story as well, where you go and fight Aklov again. Then I'll have to look through other things I want to do. Next episode, we will run around though and catch some Dark-type Pokemon, because there are some Pokemon that I have not yet got. For example, I've not got Larvitar yet, or Tyranitar to be more to the point, because it's a Dark-type. I need to go get Darkrai, Guzzlord, Galarian Moltres, Spiritomb, Yveltal, Urshifu Dark, Zarude, Zorua, and Froakie as well. And then we'll have all the Dark-type Pokemon, and we'll be ready to do the post-game stuff. But yeah, thanks for everyone that has joined me on this playthrough. I'll probably take a small break as well before I go into the post-game, because I do want to play some more Pokemon Champions, and it's hard to like juggle both the Pokemon plates right now. So maybe we'll do some more Champions before I come back and do the remainder of the post-game. Also, it'll give me time to like research where all these Pokemon actually are. Anyway, thanks for watching, YouTube, and I hope to see you next time. But I have proven at least our original start, where we wanted to be the best villainess, I think it was. We are certainly the best villainess. Anyway, thank you a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!